Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? My name is Little Rex, and this is your Daily Chat, episode 129. Finally, at the time slot I've been aiming for like a solid week, and I finally got it to happen. Thank God. So, yes, what was I going to say? You know what? Hang on. Let's go get our co-host for today, and we will get started.
Sound resumed. Channel
Using
switched.
And just like that, we walk in on a conversation.
Continue. Yes.
Do you,
Hey, Ray.
were you guys having your TeamSpeak alone time? Do you guys need a moment?
No, we're fine.
Are you sure?
I was just geeking out over my my new TeamSpeak setup.
Gotcha. So, for those of you who are new to the channel, this is Tim, and of course, as always, my wonderful co-host, Devious Furball,
Good evening.
who I kind of feel guilty about moving the time on because it's so late over in his part of the world.
Oh, it's so late.
Hey, you know what? I actually had to be, like, kind of conscientious about that. Oh, boy.
No, no, you're not.
Do I not message you ahead of time?
Yeah, sometimes you do, yeah.
I'm always Canadian about the entire ordeal. That's right. So, how have you guys been?
I'm okay.
I'm doing all right. Long day at work, but I'm doing all right.
What is it you do?
I'm a server administrator for an insurance company.
Okay.
So I have like the world's most thrilling job. I deploy code to servers and make sure they don't blow up.
I figured most of your day would be sitting around watching Netflix.
I mean, some days it is a little slow, but I'm a server jockey. I restart servers a lot, and troubleshoot is my main job.
Gotcha. Man, so yesterday there was no show because I took my entire office apart. I mean, like, I removed all of the computers, all of the monitors, everything out of here. And I, like, vacuumed and Lysoled, just everything, because I do it about once every 6 months, because, you know, dust gets into crevices that you normally cannot get to otherwise. And it's just like, oh my god, it is such a pain in the ass to put it all back.
Yeah.
Like,
Cleaning's never fun.
no, it's never fun.
Dude, I'm loath to just do a small upgrade on the PC. Because the amount of cable management and sort of like digging around and crap I've got to do with it.
Hey, cable management is an art, man.
It is, and I know this
And
because
it's an art that escapes me.
it is an art because in February, I purchased two 2 terabyte drives and one 480 gig SSD. Okay, literally didn't put them in until yesterday when I took everything apart. Because I'm like, I'm not disconnecting a goddamn thing, and I'm not running SATA cables and all that through all these like little grommet holes until that thing is on its desk. And
I can't blame you.
like, I just refused. I'm like, nope. I'm like, I don't care. I already have 3 SSDs in this computer, so I'm not hurting for space. I just want more space. So I'm like, screw it. It's one of those things, it can wait. And unfortunately, the 2 terabyte drives, they're meant for a mirror raid. And it's kind of one of those things, it's like, I was kind of gambling on that one. That one was more of a gamble. It's like, will the drive last until I get these 2 terabytes put in? Which ended up taking 6 hours to transfer all of the data last night. So I did it before I went to bed. Which, thank God it was all done.
That's a decent chunk of time.
Yeah, well, 718 gigs worth of data I had to transfer. Because it's all of my download files, all of my schoolwork, my music collection, everything. And mind you, this music collection is like a fraction of what it was before, because a long time ago when I did a format, I forgot to back up my music collection, so it all went away. So I pretty much had to rebuild my entire thing. And some songs I never had the correct names for, so I'll never find them again. But yeah, so what are you going to be streaming on your show today?
I'm going to be starting with Parkitect.
Oh, yeah. I want to take a look at that game.
Yeah. How are you? Are you looking forward to that?
I am. It was on sale during the Steam sale, so I figured I'd jump in. It's still really early access apparently, but from what I've been told, the strength is in the Steam Workshop.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be like Theme Park by Bullfrog, which is one of my favorite games.
Yes.
Alongside Theme Hospital. Rest in peace, Bullfrog. You'll never be forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
But it's supposed to be the spiritual
FUEA.
yeah, it's supposed to be the spiritual successor to theme park, kind of hybridized with the Roller Coaster Tycoon games, the first ones. So
Okay.
yeah, that's my. I'm hoping it delivers, but I don't. I tend to, when it comes to certain games, I tend to try to, like, when I get hyped about a game like this, like Parkitect, when I see the videos and stuff, I tend to avoid reading reviews and stuff until I like play it myself because I want to form my own opinion. So
Yeah, I'm completely unsure how to feel because it contains two things that both pique my interest and also at the same time make me shudder. It contains the words early access,
mhm.
and yeah, we all know where that goes. But also, it contains the word spiritual successor.
You know
Now,
what? That's a term that's having less and less meaning as time goes on.
no, I agree. No, it does have less and less meaning, but it is. It means people want to do it right. Now, I can cite, well, off the top of my head, one game that I owned called Syndicate Wars.
Okay.
Syndicate Wars, again, a Bullfrog game, but from the even earlier days. It's a truly excellent cyberpunk game. So, and it's isometric view.
See, like,
It was just a really really enjoyable game, and sorry, Syndicate Wars. The spiritual successor for it was called Satellite Rain.
never heard of it.
Never heard of it?
Never
Okay.
heard of it.
That was the spiritual successor. They've done absolutely brilliantly because they want to make that game again. So you kind of they kind of can't go wrong because if they're making a spiritual successor, they care about the product.
See, like,
Right.
when I think spiritual successors, the most recent thing that pops to mind is Mighty Number 9. You know, the flop that was the Mega Man.
That was shameless cash in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, and even that, they lied on their own Kickstarter page.
They did.
You know, I mean, I'm not going to go to bat for Mighty Number 9 and people who claim spiritual successorship, but that was as far off a spiritual successor as Mega Man than I could possibly think
Now,
of, and that's just by
yeah.
looking at the Kickstarter.
Ironically
as well.
enough, a better a quote unquote spiritual successor to Mega Man is actually a game called Ares.
Oh, yeah, there's a few out there,
A.R.E.S.
dude. Yeah,
Pardon?
there's a few out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you could basically tick the box on most fucking platform shooters, really.
Well,
But
I
it-
mean, Mega Man really helped set the bar on that. So of course, I think everything's going to be kind of a spiritual successor in a way. I mean,
Yeah,
not
but
just
there's,
an
like-
inspiration of, but
Yeah, but you're talking almost like, like it's like direct spiritual successor as in like your children versus like a pseudo spiritual successor, which is like your cousin. Like, sure, they're part of the same thing, but they're still not. Like, one is directly supposed to, the other one's just kind of an extension off of.
one's very similar to the original, whereas they changed the story entirely for like that cousin style.
Right.
Whereas with like Mighty Number 9 is actually really similar to Mega Man in a lot of ways.
It's a shame Capcom's broke now. They're broke now? I thought they had that, like, that what is it, Marvel versus Street Fighter money.
Well, and they've got Dead Rising as well, don't they?
Oh, okay, well, that would actually make a studio broke. That wouldn't actually make you money, but okay.
I thought Dead Rising did all right.
Which
Yeah,
one?
there's
Which one? Super color, semi-color, or brown?
The third one, I think. So,
Brown.
Yeah, Brown.
Brown.
I
Yeah.
thought that one did all right because the thing with Capcom is that they aren't afraid to jump to consoles and lean on the console sales. They do that a lot.
You should be leaning on. Like, look, I agree that PC is the master race in the way you should be gaming. I absolutely agree with that. But if I was a developer, I'd actually be pushing console more than I'd be pushing PC. And the reason why is because you've got this captive audience who is probably admittedly semi-retarded.
Don't stop. That's the reason why the entire technology industry, including gaming, hasn't advanced for the last decade.
Yep.
Because of consoles.
I'm gonna agree with Furball on that one.
No, you can, but we're not talking about from a game perspective. We're talking about from a business perspective.
Yeah,
and from a business
developer,
perspective,
because they've got a captive audience. Why the hell would you? Why the hell would you advance? Why the hell would you make something more complex or anything like that when you can throw out any old shite onto a console and guarantee it to sell? That's exactly the reason why the industry hasn't advanced over the past
But once
few
again,
years.
though, you're looking at this from the eyes of a consumer, from the perspective of Capcom, from the perspective of a Capcom executive board. They don't care. They could give two fucks about that. They don't. EA doesn't care. Ubisoft doesn't care. Clearly, they only care about making sales. And if I'm trying to push as many units as possible and cash in on that $60, price tag, console is the way to go.
Release on console, yeah.
Yeah, captive audience. You can code easily for the hardware because all the hardware is the same. You don't have to really in any like big breaks or anything. You can actually get away with not fixing. You can actually get away with it because it's going to cost you money to push a patch out to the store. So they actually get away with not.
Something I've said before anyway. The days of consoles used to be you just stick something in, a disc or a cartridge and go, and it was done. It was that simple.
Right.
It's not like that anymore.
No. Now it's all download.
Now, you download. I mean, one particular example that I like to cite because it's something that happened to my friend while I was there. We all had a gaming night round nights. I was on my PC, Nathan was on his. We're playing Battlefield 4, I think it was. Our buddy Smudge had come round with his PlayStation 3 or 4, can't remember what it was at the time. But when he started the console up, they'd released a system patch for the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he'd done that, about maybe an hour or so, then he had a game patch, a day one game patch to wait for. He didn't get gaming for like 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeesh. That sucks.
Yeah.
But from a consumer perspective, that sucks. From a business perspective, who cares? Now,
Well, of course.
the executive board is going to look at it like, not my problem, brah.
Well, technically, then you can bring up sort of like EA and how its shareholders actually took them to court for the state that was Battlefield 4 on release.
Right, but that's because there was so much public negative backlash that they had to. It was one of those things, the press was so bad, you couldn't ignore it. Like, ignoring it could have crippled your company pretty much forever. And the fact that EA had won 2 times in a row Worst Company in America awards, the shareholders were pretty on edge because it showed the shareholders that EA was on the radar of consumers and their reputation was piss poor. Meaning you couldn't just ignore that. Like, you had to address it.
Yeah.
PS3 patches, God, how I remember. You know what? The last console I owned, Xbox 360, I remember the patches were annoying. They didn't take me very long to get, but they were annoying. And ever since then, I've never owned a console, and I never will own a console ever again. This PS4 and Xbox came out sooner than they had planned originally. I don't know about that, because the 7th generation was 8 years old. You had tons of time to get those consoles ready.
You can argue that the 4 versions aren't very technologically advanced at all.
No, they're freaking cheap $500 computers.
Yeah.
They're AMD APUs, for God's sake.
Not very advanced at all. And hence the reason why why both companies have announced now, I think in the wake of E3, that they are bringing out yet another console. So this is bringing back to the 4-year cycle of consoles, rather than the decade-long thing that it was.
Hang on. They're not bringing out new consoles. They're bringing out refresh consoles. No. There is a significant difference. Xbox to Xbox 360 was a major leap in technology for that console. But
Yeah,
to
but
just
you've got the Xbox S for the refresh, haven't you?
no. The Xbox S is a cash grab. That's what that is. That's actually nothing. The Xbox Scorpio,
it's a slimline version of it.
the Scorpio
like
is the
PlayStation 2.
refresh. The Scorpio is the refresh. Because they're not changing anything significantly. They're adding a better GPU and they're overclocking the CPU, but they're not actually changing it.
What do they call it?
And that 6
million
teraflops crap is such this. Okay, let's address the 6 teraflops issue. Because clearly people don't know what 6 teraflops
We all
means.
think the same fucking thing. It's total bullshit.
It is
Is
bullshit.
what it is.
And I know
Because
the show.
6
I
million
know
is greater than 5 million.
Hooker. I swear to God, I will take you down. Okay, 6 teraflops. Let's actually address. And the three of us, very technologically savvy enough to have an informed opinion on this. All three of us unanimously can agree. This is marketing bullcrap and doesn't mean a damn thing in terms of the actual gamer. In terms of what the gamer's gonna see.
Nope.
It means
Nothing.
nothing. Okay? 6 teraflops. That is such a marketing hype number to give your console more prominence than what it's actually going to have, because you have so little to go on in terms of because what are you going to say? Yeah, we're keeping with the same APU, but we're going to overclock it by about 500 megahertz. You know, no big deal, bro. It's like, that's super champ. Like, God, I could have done that on my own. No, the 6 teraflops, and they're trying to say it's going to push 4K. 6 teraflops, in terms of GPU to GPU scaling, on the marketplace, you're looking about a GTX 970, 980, like middle point is where you're looking. And I can tell you right now, I have a 980. That is not pushing 4K. It can do 4K if I want to deal with an obscenely horrible frame rate, but it's not pushing like, when you say my card can do X, Y, or Z resolution, you should always be talking that resolution at 60 frames a second. That is how you need to be viewing things. So when you say, oh, my card can do, 4K, 4K at 15 FPS is basically unplayable. Like, you can do it if you're a freaking sadist, but I will never game. Hell, I'm getting to the point now where I can't really game at less than 100 FPS, because 60 FPS is now starting to look a little bit choppy to me. Because, like, I have my Overwatch turned to the point where I'm getting 200 frames a second. Dude, you thought 60 frames was butter smooth. Play at 200 and then go back to 60. Oh, your eyes are like, oh my God, I think I'm having a seizure. It looks horrible. Tim, you stream and play. What do you think?
I think overall, I mean, it is what it is. Like we've called, it's total marketing BS. The whole idea behind it is to make it sound impressive, because they bank on those console gamers, and I've got nothing against console gamers.
I do.
I know quite a few of them, but and I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting a console to play console exclusives, even though that's also garbage. But we won't get into that, because I can hear Furbal's head whistling as I mention console exclusives. But it's just marketing BS to get people to buy in and say, well, my Xbox does six teraflops or whatever, and your PS4 only does 5, so yeah. And it's like, guys, you're still pushing age-old hardware, so
Okay, so if we want to take a look at the 6 teraflops from another perspective, my console can do 6 teraflops. Congratulations, your technology is 3 years old. Because that's when the GTX 980 came out.
Well, what's interesting is that with this hardware refresh that they're doing, because they're upping the hardware a bit, everything's still locked to run those games. They're not releasing games specifically for the new hardware, because they still have to pander to the bare minimum.
Right.
So it's not going to be that big of a difference.
No, it's not.
It's freaking pathetic.
And they're trying to. I know Sony even, well, kind of in a roundabout way. It was like Sony's doing the whole new Sony what's their code name called? Sony something. PlayStation Neo. They're doing PlayStation Neo because technically the PS4 is not good enough to run the Morpheus.
Wait,
which
it's called the Neo?
Yeah, that's the code name for it. The
So
PS4
what
point.
did they watch The Matrix
The,
and
it,
were
it's
like super high and were like, dude, let's totally name it the Morpheus and Neo.
I know, right?
Dude.
And they're doing that
Jesus.
because from the hardware that is in the PS4s right now, it's
It's
one of
not
those
man
things.
enough to run the VR.
It's one of those things. It's like because they even said it either they're like, oh, it can run VR. Once again, when we say run VR, in what frame of reference are we speaking? Because VR at 10 frames a second is beyond unplayable. Like that's not even like, oh, if you can tolerate. That's just beyond. You will have. I don't personally like get seasick and all those other like pussy things that people have to suffer. I'm a normal person, but even I could see myself getting like motion sickness from 10 frames a second VR.
No, that's just a slideshow. That's not
That's just a slideshow.
motion sickness.
Amazing. What the hell? Important Prime Day information. Oh, neat. I forgot Amazon has the Prime Days. Yeah, like so the new one is supposed to do better. I question the level of quality we're going to get out of the PlayStation Neo in terms of their VR, and I really want my VR. In fact, what I'm hoping, and I know it's going to happen because it happens all the time, is I've been hearing such good things about the PlayStation Morpheus that I want to see how fast it's going to be before somebody cracks it onto just PC. Just ports it right over to PC, and then you can just buy them because the Morpheus headset's only $400.
It won't take
Yeah,
long.
it's
I mean, look at the
$400,
Kinect. It took them what, like 6 months, less than that.
Yeah, but that's because there was a cash prize out for who could do it first.
I'm sure someone will do the same thing for the Morpheus because they're going to want an affordable VR.
Yeah, but I also want to point out
set.
the guy who cracked the Kinect also got sued by Microsoft. So, it's a matter of those, what's the risk versus reward kind of deal. Look at the retirements for the Rift and the requirements for the Rift. Yeah, exactly. Oh, dude, the Rift is just getting hammered in the marketplace.
It should be. Palmer
Yeah.
Luckey's a tool.
Yeah, complete and utter.
That guy,
tool.
that guy needs to be canned before he completely ruins the Oculus Rift's chance. Even though the Oculus
It's already
is
dead.
an inferior product.
It's
So,
it's already dead, dude.
yeah. Palmer,
Linus
Palmer
Tech
Luckey can
Tips.
Suck it.
Linus Tech Tips. When they just reviewed the Oculus Rift on their Vessel channel 3 days ago, and they put a poll up for what are you guys gonna buy, and they showed the poll from before VR came out and now. And now it's 80% people want the Vive. Nobody wants the Rift anymore. The Rift is just pure crap.
Well, yeah, why would you?
Well, it's like your console, your let's call it what it is. It's a monitor, right? We know it's a
Yeah.
monitor. The monitor is so cheaply designed that it uses an Xbox controller. Not even like an Xbox knockoff. It just takes an Xbox controller. It's like, why? What is the point of your existence at that point? Like the Vive, on the other hand, has those like sick motion controllers, which man, that's how you're supposed to be rolling. That's what really what VR is supposed to be.
Let's not forget that there is at least a third contender. Well, I should say a fourth because that means I'm discounting Sony. So,
Who's the third?
there is a fourth contender. It's the Asus
The what?
VR headset.
Asus
Ooh,
VR
you
headset.
don't know about the Asus VR headset?
Oh, I didn't think much progress had been made on it.
No, it hasn't. Well, last time I checked it.
Like last time I heard about it, I just heard about like Asus is thinking about getting into VR, and that's literally where
Nope.
where my
No,
knowledge
they have,
began
They
and
have
ended.
a project they've teamed up with, I think it's Starbreeze.
Okay. Interesting. I'll have to look into this.
Gentlemen, I have to duck out because
Okay.
I'm starting stream shortly, so I got to get my water and stuff. So I will catch you later. Good luck with the show.
Thanks a lot, man. See you later.
Okay,
Later.
bud. Take care.
But yeah, like
User disconnected from your
I
channel.
don't know, man. The VR headset, it's like I see it now. It looks pretty cool. It looks like a VR headset. But all in all, man, it's like just I don't know. The consoles, everything right now, and just the industry itself is just such garbage. It's like I don't think anyone has any real desire to know what they're doing anymore. It's like they kind of just like coast through it, grab what they can grab cheaply off the shelves, and call it a day. But I don't know. The bigger news, though, that came out yesterday was actually another big reason why there was no show yesterday was even though I had the office put back together by like midnight, I could have easily streamed. I was catching up on dropped frames, and they had the project manager for Bits on yesterday. So, of course, when 3 of the biggest streamers on Twitch have a project manager from Twitch on their show, I'm going to sit down and pay attention. Mm-hmm. And do you remember what Bits are? Do you remember when we covered that? Okay.
Oh, God damn it, the fake currency for
the cheering.
Twitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who don't know,
microtransactions for your Twitch.
For those of you who don't know, let's fill you in on what this is. 2 days ago, Twitch came out with they released a beta for only selected partners called Cheering. Okay, and it uses a currency called Bits, and they're going to be a dynamically moving animation where the more bits you add, the more complex the animation becomes. And I don't even know how I missed this connection, but I'm so glad somebody brought it up to me. It's essentially camgirl tokens, from the porn sites, where like my free cams uses tokens. I think 76 cam uses balloons, and this is essentially just a currency, a microtransaction currency that you can do. So that way you don't have to donate $5 to your streamer. You can donate like a bit, and 1 bit's like $1.40 or something like that. So they came out with this concept, and it received an enormous amount of backlash. Like, just a ton of backlash. From both streamers and from streamers who didn't get into the beta, and from viewers who have to deal with this now. Okay? So the project manager was saying, he's like, oh, well, when he got called on it from Ezekiel the Third, he's like, come on, be honest. You got this from cam girls. Like, apparently it's a big thing in Korea, according to Total Biscuit. He's like, it's a big thing on the Korean streaming websites, these like virtual currencies.
Boobs.
Yeah. And the project manager's like, no. I'm pretty sure Emmett Shear got it from, the gaming sites in Korea of a gaming nature and all that. I'm like, oh my God, dude. I'm like, just look, 99% of Twitch viewers are men. Just call it what it is. We got it from porn because we know what you guys like.
It's a digital currency, and I'm surprised it hasn't been introduced before now.
You know why? Because
in Twitch books or something.
Because Twitch is one of those companies that, while they might rip off a lot of ideas, they'll take some time to roll some stuff out just to not overload people. Because you gotta remember, the name of the game for Twitch is make as much money as you can. And the concept of Bits is to deliver these tokens. So in the way they're going to do it is kind of mask it as, we're going to give you guys tokens so you can pay your streamers. When in actuality, it's our streamers are making a boatload of money through PayPal. We have no way of grabbing any of that cash. We need to get on that train because, look, I know for a fact Soda Poppin' makes almost $1,200 a day. Okay? $1,200 a day times 30 days times 12 months. And that's just in tips. And that's one streamer. So Twitch is looking like that, probably had an aneurysm when they saw the numbers and how much money they're not collecting from people like Soda, Co, and Lyric and Summit. And they're like, okay, we need to find a way to grab that money. And what's the best way to do it? Microcurrency within the website itself. Easily the best way to do it. And they have been super secretive about the split percentage. They even got called on it on Drop Frames yesterday from the host, and they still did not give a true number. So right now, the prevalent mode of speculation is we're looking between 30 and 40% split. And apparently that number fluctuates between each individual broadcaster. That's not even like a solid number.
Oh, that's double wow.
Yeah. Apparently it fluctuates between how much use is the broadcaster getting out of cheering is what's going to dictate your amount of split. So it's like, oh my God, you are just stealing money like straight from the broadcasters at this point. And when Twitch in My Eye, he was in the After Dark stream that we did. And when we were just kind of touching on it, because I wanted to save it for the main show, like when I have you on so you and I can talk about it. But when we were just like kind of BSing around about it, it's like, I would be okay with Twitch cheering and Twitch bits if the split was like 1%. Like, I don't even want it approaching double-digit numbers in terms of how much money they're going to get to take from a broadcaster.
I'd agree with you. I mean, if you were to donate something like $1, right? PayPal would take 20% of that, roughly.
They would take 30
wouldn't
cents straight off the top for their
Oh, is it
basic
30
fee.
cents? Okay.
No, hang on. PayPal does two hits. It'll do a straight 30-cent charge, and then it also does a percentage off the top too. But that's how PayPal's always operated, so that's why it's like, if you're ever going to donate to a broadcaster, just donate like if you're going to say, I'm going to do 5 donations of $1, no, just do the $5 donation, because the broadcaster will take less of a hit.
Well, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
I mean, you could donate $100 and still only, give PayPal a couple of dollars.
Right.
You donate $5, the streamer's only getting for argument's sake,
Like $4.20.
$3.
Like the stream gets about
something like
$4.20.
So it's it's just, I mean, PayPal is still the better option.
It is.
If
Oh,
you ask
100%.
me.
100%. And I've proven time and again, even with the sub program that Twitch has, the PayPal is still the better option. And I
Well,
can
because
say
you get
this.
a sub button does not mean that you get
I can
that you're
say
gonna get any money.
I can say with 100% definitivity, because I have actually read the partner contract, because I have a few friends now who have received partnership on Twitch. So they sent me their contract so I can actually read through it. And I know for a fact the split is $2.50 goes to Twitch, $2.50 goes to the broadcaster. So I'm like, wow, they legitimately take 50% of your money. You, the person who generated the content, brought in the viewers, it made them stay, and then they take half your cash. It's like, no, PayPal, always PayPal is going to be the better option. Yes. Until they decide to knock that split down to something reasonable, that's, like in a single digit, no, just always PayPal.
There is one thing, though. I mean, if you can buy, 1 bit for $1,
right?
Actually, no, you can't even argue that, because the people who, would only donate sort of like $1,
yeah,
aren't the people with what you'd call a stable income.
No.
That any kind of working man or woman of the world would be able to would happily donate more than that. So would they be more inclined to donate at $1? Honestly, I don't know. But
Nemo,
the point is,
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Hang on. Nemo Albion says, the sub split isn't defined as 50-50. Lyric said before he gives Twitch $1. Okay, here's the difference, though. There's about, I want to say, like, in the neighborhood between 5 and 10,000 partnered streamers on Twitch. Okay, Nemo? Lyric is the #1 streamer on Twitch. He's the biggest streamer that Twitch has. When you are the size of Lyric, Soda, Summit, you get to renegotiate your contract because you pull in so many people. When you're a small partnered streamer just barely cracking 100, no, you do give Twitch $2.50. It's all about star power, man.
It's widely known that they get different rates.
Yes,
to,
just like how with the
everyone
bits,
else.
the split is not super defined. JP only pays 2. JP pulls in about 3,000 people and has a large amount of pull at Twitch. Dude, you have to keep in mind, it's not just about, oh, this person only pays that, so that way it's just this. There's a lot of fluctuation. In $2 compared to $2.50, JP only gets a 50-cent knockoff. That's not as big a deal as you think it is. He's only saving 50 cents. Now Lyric's saving $1.50. That's pretty significant. But JP only paying $2. Whoopee, he only pays $2 instead of the people I know who pay $2.50. Like, that's not that big a deal. So it's all about star power, man. It's just like in Hollywood. Cameron oh, who's a big person nowadays? Not Cameron Diaz. Someone, I don't know. Uh, Jim Carrey 20 years ago. Jim Carrey 20 years ago. He could dictate $20 million for a movie. Nowadays, he can't dictate that. It's all about your star power. So you're wrong, bud. Trust me, man. I'm not wrong. Wow. It's amazing how misinformed you are, because you have to keep also in mind histories and all that. But it's fine. It's fine, man. We'll say you're right, and we'll just move on.
Yeah, let's just move on anyway, because this is a subject that doesn't really interest me at all, and it's not. There's just not enough information yet. Is it a good thing? I think it can be. It's like microtransactions. You just want to hate them, don't you? You just want to hate them. But can it be a good thing? You know, can I donate $1 to you, whereas that would be $1 you wouldn't normally get, whereas normally I'd have to donate like $5 or something like that.
Right.
I mean, doesn't PayPal have like a $2 minimum or something?
No. PayPal doesn't have a minimum. You get to dictate what the minimum is for your own channel. So it's really not that bad. It's just it's a matter of what PayPal's split in administration fee is versus like how much you're getting paid, kind of thing. But I think I'm just gonna round this off with saying Total Biscuit had the right idea when he said, the one good thing about bits is it works almost like your Steam wallet, where once you load the money onto your Twitch account for bits, you don't feel guilty spending them as you would if you were actually like paying money out of a credit card or a bank card or whatever. Like, you don't feel remotely as guilty about it.
That's what digital currency does for you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. No,
it takes away the aspect of real money.
Yes.
That's why, Disneyland's got
Disney Bucks or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
And
100%.
so on and so forth.
100%, man. So, okay, I'm going to take a quick break because I got to take a piss really badly because I just came back from the gym before we went on the air. So I'll be right back. You going to go fill your flask?
No.
Nope. Okay, so you talk to the guys and I'll be right back. Wow, it's so quiet.
It is, yeah.
Okay, I'll make sure. Was there like no talking at all while I was gone?
Very little.
Okay, I'll make sure I re-edit that then. God, so yeah, so what else has been new with you then?
Did I tell you I spoke to Ellen McGuinness?
Yes, yeah. You said that on the last show that you went to a convention or something with her or with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Apparently, she reached out to me via one of the audio sites.
Oh.
Mash Stories. So.
Oh, very cool. So, are you going to be doing any work with them?
I don't think so. I'm not going to assume anything. But I doubt it, to be honest.
Yeah.
They're over in America. I'm not.
Yeah, I know, but no, you normally record from home anyway.
I do, yes.
Yeah, it's funny. I had on the late night show, I had a guy come in. He's like, "Oh my god, you're using an SM7B, but you're so far away from the microphone." I'm like, I'm really not. I am like 5 inches away from the microphone. It's like, dude, the amount of it's so weird. The amount of people I'm getting into my stream nowadays, they're just like, oh my god. It's like, why are you doing this or that? It's like, you shouldn't be using this. Like, I have successfully ran my stream for almost 2 years now. It's like, why on earth would I start changing stuff to stuff I know is inferior?
Well,
it's like, Jesus Christ. It's like, I swear to God, man, people are fucking potatoes these days.
I mean, there's always trying something new.
No, it's if I know something is objectively worse, I'm not even gonna bother trying it because I know it's gonna fail. It's one of those things. You watch enough movies in your life, you can pretty much tell from the trailer what's gonna happen, who did it, and how it's gonna end. At that point, then why do you bother seeing it? Like, the only reason I saw Independence Day Resurgence was because I wanted to see the aliens blow stuff up again. And boy, was I wrong. Like, that was mistakes were made. My notifications only work half the time? What? What are we talking about? What notifications? Like my channel? No idea.
No,
Let me know.
think
So,
Films' channel.
pardon?
I think Till is talking about their own.
Yeah. I know Twitch Alerts was doing some work on their API last night, and they might still be at it today, so I'm not sure. I still use my Twitch Alerts, but I also use some other stuff too, so I still get notifications regardless. But yeah, I know they were doing some work last night, like late last night, like 5 a.m. So I'm not sure if they fixed it or not. But they did put a notice out saying that while we're doing this work, stuff might be either A, offline, or B, just broken. Man, you see the White House went after Congress the other day?
No, I didn't.
Apparently... Okay, so you remember the whole net neutrality controversy that was happening last year? Mm-hmm. Okay. Apparently, the Congress has been trying to sneak in, like, anti-net neutrality bills into other bills. Yeah. So... they tried to sneak it in lately into like some finance bill, and the White House got so pissed they sent out a message to Congress saying essentially, stop trying to screw with net neutrality, it's not going to happen. And they're trying to reduce the FCC's budget and amount of power that they can have for enforcement, and it's so sad to watch America just get like torn apart that way. Because then tell me you were alive. I think there's like a little thing you have to tick nowadays, like to say like, hey, notify me when this channel goes live. I don't think it does it automatically anymore. That's what I see on some of the channels I subscribe to. The
email system is still a little bit squiffy as well, you know.
Well, it's also like it's also a queued priority system too between broadcasters. So, you know, depending on where you are, it's like you know, obviously like when Lyric goes live and people are following his channel, not everyone gets it because you're trying to send out emails to however many followers he's got, and you got to do that for every broadcaster. So at some points, then the system just bugs out, and yeah, some people don't get it. Like I know Voodoo Panda, she doesn't get the notifications for when we go live sometimes. So, you know, and it happens, but this is why it's always good to have a consistent schedules, because even if you don't get the notification, you can almost guarantee if I pop in, the person will be live at this time, which is also why I'm trying to find a better time that works for everybody's schedule. Right now, the hardest person scheduled to work around, ironically enough, is not even my own. It's actually Devious. That's
Really?
only because you got that 8-hour time difference where I kind of have to be, conscientious about the time difference.
That's fine by me. I've got shit to do.
Yeah, I know, but sleep at some point is good for the body. At some point.
But that's what I mean. I've got shit to do. I don't even have to be here.
Yeah.
I'm sweet. I can. I've got letters to write for tomorrow and shit like that. So yeah.
Letters?
I can go do all that stuff.
What the hell are you writing letters for?
Well, it's a personal statement is what it's called.
Is it a manifesto?
No. It's I'm going to be. I guess I'm going on a course, right,
okay.
with a college, which will probably lead to university.
Oh, you're going back to school?
Yeah.
Oh, neat. For
Quite
what?
Possibly. Sorry?
For what?
What? Okay. This is a long, long way away, so I didn't really want to say anything to anyone because it's going to be at least another 4 years. But I have taken a shine to diagnostic radiology.
There you go. Good paying career.
And it's the UK
NHS.
thing is recognised worldwide and highly regarded as well, so
Oh, that's good. At least you got
Don't
that
even
going.
have to be in the UK anymore. Once I get it, it's like being a nurse. Once you're a nurse all over the world. You know, once I'm a
Yeah.
diagnostic radiologist, I'm a diagnostic radiologist all over the world.
So, is it its own degree, or do you have to do like what I do, where if I want to do like oncology, I have to go get my MD, and then I have to go get my specialty after that?
I can go further in the career, but I'll never get the MD.
Okay, gotcha. That's
I don't
awesome. Though.
think.
Congrats.
I think I can get professorship, but not MD
Right, right, right.
or something weird like that.
I'm starting a foundation degree in September. What the hell's a foundation
Nice.
degree?
Best of luck with that, dude.
The hell's a foundation degree?
Foundation degree is basically the start of a degree.
Oh, okay, neat. Congrats. So I guess we're all back in
But
school.
it's a qualification all in itself. You can have a foundation degree, and people will, depending on what it's in, people will, you know,
Okay.
use that, so to speak.
Oh, very cool. So yeah, looks like we're all back. Like it's starting tomorrow. I start prepping for the MCAT exam, which I've decided I'm not writing until freaking January. I am not going to stress myself out for another 2 months after having just gotten out of classes. Like I need a break as much as anyone else does.
Like I say, I've got to write this personal statement, and I have no idea what I'm supposed to put in it. So it's like an introduction to who you are, but why you want to do the thing that you want to do. And it's like, it's because I want to do it.
Whatever you do not put the answers I put where I am bored, I want money, and I want a job security. Just don't put that. They don't like that. It might be true, but they don't like that.
I can imagine they don't like it, but they don't have a say because you now have to pay for education in the
They
UK.
have a pretty big say in if you're going to get in or not.
Well, okay, but you have to pay for education in the UK, so they shouldn't have a say. That's the point. It's now this thing is a moot point because the best basically cover letter / resume won.
Yeah, well, they're not doing
for
interviews too.
positions, say like if there was one slot free in a course and there was 3 people, the person with the best letter won.
Oh, they don't do
The
interviews
most
too.
enthusiasm or something like that.
Huh. That's pretty bad. Like I know in Canada, we're like the MCAT here in Canada means almost nothing nowadays. It means practically zero. In fact, the only part of the MCAT that they care about is your verbal reasoning. And then the rest of your entrance is dictated by what's called MMI, which is multiple mini interviews. So I actually have to physically go to the University of Calgary and sit down and talk to administrators and all that, for I think 10 or 15 times I have to before I get admittance. So it's like, okay, well, that's fine. Like look, I think we can all agree. If all I have to do is talk, I think for my interviews, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, as long as you keep your mouth shut, you'll be great.
Pretty anti-interview, but close enough. But yeah, no, it's like one of those things. Like if most of my entrance is gonna be dictated on my actual personality and everything, then that's way easier than trying to write a letter trying to describe yourself. Because look, I can write down that I'm Mother freaking Teresa, and I can put all the fake accolades in the world that I want. But the nice thing about interviews is it really gives them a gist of who you are truly.
Yeah, that's that one-to-one thing that's really important. Yeah.
So, yeah, I know. That's what I have to do. So, that's why I'm not super stressing over the MCAT, because I know it's not worth a lot. It's worth like 7% of my admission score. Dude, literally when I walk into a test, I write off 20%. I just write it off. I'm like, I don't even care about 20% of this. I'm like, if I get 80, I get an A. We call that good.
Yeah.
So, if it's only 7%, I'm pretty much just going to go in there and I will have like a week of studying for the MCAT, and I'm just going to go in there and just bullshit the rest of it. I just don't even give a shit. It's not worth my time caring. For 7%, whatever.
And I hope it takes you towards your comp science degree as well.
Yeah, man, hopefully. See, the one thing about comp sci is, like, it's becoming one of those degrees that, well, at least in North America, where it's so abundant that it's just, like, it doesn't carry the weight that it, like, back in the 90s, man, if you had a comp sci degree, you had it made. Like, you had it made in the shade kind of made. But now it's like,
The problem tends to be in the UK is you get a or what it seems to be, you get a broad brush kind of. You'll do a month on a language,
Okay.
do a small assessment, small program, something like that in it, and then you'll move on to the next language.
Gotcha.
Rather than sort of develop those particular languages, I don't even think C Sharp's in there.
No,
I think
not
it's
to
C++
my knowledge.
in comp science. But anyway, yeah, I have a friend who has a comp science degree. He's currently setting up his own business as a web hoster, hosting websites and things. He's currently a reseller.
Okay.
If he gets enough business through that, he'll be running his own hosting service and so on and so forth. But that's the avenue that he's taking. And yeah, it's a bit of a... it's been a bit of a tricky ride for him, really. Mostly because he's always wanted to go into gaming, and a lot of people don't like the comp science degree.
Yeah.
Because in the gaming sector, because, well, you need to be able to solve problems.
Yeah, ironically enough, you don't
You know.
really learn that anymore in those programs, which is so
Yeah.
strange. Like I was reading something. I was looking up a degree and like the utility of a degree and all that. And there was there was this alternative, almost like a boot camp kind of thing. Oh,
Yeah.
I think they're called like Black Hackers or something like that. I think that was the actual name of the program. And it was like they
The
taught you
black hats.
black hats. It was something like that. It was some like little,
Well,
I think like a
there's-
few month program. But
There's white, grey, and black.
no. It had nothing to do with actual hacking. It was like just the name of the course.
Oh,
But
right, okay.
they were teaching all about like reasoning skills and hard programming and all that. And like, and the reason why they're like in the real world they want people with these skills, not with a degree, because sometimes the degrees don't teach you what they need to.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like, yes, you can write a program or construct a database, in various languages, but you can't debug a Unity issue or something like that, or
Right.
an Unreal Engine issue. And Unreal Code is a language all in itself.
And when you can't debug Unreal, you end up on Gimpressions. Just saying.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit of a tricksy one. It's a damn fine field to go into, and there's a lot of work there.
Oh yeah.
But it's
No daughter of mine is going into fatty porn.
Dr.
it's
Duff Stuff,
undervalued.
thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, man. Sorry.
I think it's a little bit undervalued myself. But yeah.
I think that's undervalued. Like the odds of a .com crash again happening in human history is almost zero at this point.
It's pretty much stabilized, yeah.
Well, it's one of those things we've become too integrated in technology where it can't happen again. If it did happen again, pretty much things would collapse, like just all over the place. Especially stuff like network security, it's that field will always have jobs in it, because whenever you have to transmit data two ways, even one way, there's always going to have to be a port open for it to channel through, meaning there'll always be a way for people to attack, and there's always going to have to be a way for you to guard it. So that's almost like its own perpetual kind of security blanket for your career. Yeah, Dr. Duff Stuff, thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate it. Pound it. Ah, my arm. Yeah, sorry. Normally I do a pound it. My triceps just hurt way too much for me to lift my arms today. Just way too much. In fact, part of me just wants to like put my head down and just kind of cry over how much they hurt right now. And, dude, my friend got me onto like circuit training for a little bit, and I did circuit triceps the other day, and oh my god, it hurts so much. I've been trying to pop like creatine and all the other like things that are supposed to help take pain away, and it's helping to a degree. It's helping to a degree, but oh god, it's like
they don't take pain away.
creatine does help take pain away, because as
Well, it fills in the gap in the tear in the muscle.
Exactly.
I mean,
and as you're
yeah.
filling in those tears, you're not stimulating those C fibers, which are the pain receptors.
actually, Dr. Duff Stuff, it's one of those rather bizarre ones where we just meander all over the place.
Yeah, normally I have topics and stuff, but today is just really a chill, just talk to the channel kind of day. We're talking about some of the hot topics on Twitch. Like we talked about bits and stuff. Apparently pissed off one of my viewers. I don't know.
Talking about consoles and the generations and
VR and all
it's
that.
been a weak generation, yeah, and the new VR ones that are coming out, Sony's announcement of VR, the Asus VR headset, which there aren't a lot of details out on yet.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all we covered. Oh, you know what I was really sad about, though? At E3 this year, they didn't talk about... Valve wasn't there. It was rumored that Valve would be there to kind of announce Half-Life 3 and Left 4 Dead 3 and all that. Or at least Left 4 Dead 3.
Yeah, well, there is a sort of rumor going around about Left 4 Dead 3.
There is, and I can see it because my friends who I play Left 4 Dead 2 with every single night, which, by the way, guys, after about 2,000 hours of Left 4 Dead 2, if you don't know the maps inside and out by then, you did the whole thing wrong. Like, you just did everything wrong. But, what's the dark voice? Is he talking about you or me? I think he's talking about you.
I have no idea.
Okay. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Rex, and don't worry, the sigh wasn't a sigh of exacerbation, that was just me sighing. My name is Rex. I'm the main host of the Daily Chat here on Twitch TV. The dark voice without with a picture to my right here. This is my co-host Devious Furball, probably what can actually be described as the voice of Twitch. Like the man of Twitch. And yeah, he's a British voice actor. You can find him at goldenvoice.co. Right?
Close, but no cigar.
What is it?
Goldenvo.co.
Goldenvo.co.
I'm represented by Be Discovered Agency. Yeah, few places you can find me.
You know Game Newell can't count to 3, Rex. Oh, rip. That's funny.
We shall see if those if there is a Left 4 Dead 3.
Shrakes had a really good idea. The guy who drew my dinosaur and everything, guys, my artist name is Shrakes. He had a very good idea called the Orange Cube, where just like we had the orange box, where it was, everything number 2, Orange Cube would be everything number 3. And it's like, you know what? That is, I could actually see that being a legitimate idea that Valve would go with. Because the orange box is widely regarded as one of the best collection of games you ever got in a single package. And how could you not really go with that? Like, hell, if I was Gabe Newell, I would have made the 3. I would have made all the games in the 3rd version just to run with that idea. I liked it so much.
And thank you, Dr. Duff Stuff. That's very kind of you.
Yeah, no, man, you're good people. You're good people. So, god damn it, my arms. Oh my god, so much pain. But yeah, I gotta show you my office here. Okay, so look how empty the office is right now, dude. There is nothing here after yesterday's cleaning. Everything is out by my bar right now, just in. Oh, there it goes. Boom. Dr. Duff Stuff. Boom! Best alerts on Twitch, baby. Tally ain't got nothing on me.
Man, it's looking
Dude,
it's looking like an office is what it's looking like.
No, man, screw that. If I wanted to work in an office, I'd actually go get an office. I like having a room that's my room.
Looking like a decent place is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm setting up the second streaming computer right now, but the reason why the office is not back to normal yet is because I needed the tower anyway for some videos I have to shoot. So I needed the tower anyway, so I'm like, okay, well, while I have the tower out of the room, I'll just keep it out of the room and I'll record the videos I need to record and then I can put it back. Because I actually have to make a video for a physical video of how to physically hook up 2 PCs for streaming kind of thing. So I need 2 motherboards and all that other stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, I've got literally both computers out of the room. I can do the videos with those 2 and call it a day.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I like my office though. The bookshelves though, I got really pissed at the bookshelves just because I hit my head 5 times. BRB don't do AB. What? Why do you have a second computer? Oh, dude, in this room alone, I've got 3 computers in this one room. And the reason why I have 2 computers, though, is because when I first started streaming back in Iowa, I actually started streaming on a 2 PC streaming setup. So one computer plays the games and one computer does the streaming, because all I had was an i5 processor. And it was an old 2500K, so it wasn't like... It was powerful, not powerful enough to stream and play games at high res. So I built a second computer for a surprise check I got from the Canadian government, and I built a second computer there, and then I use that for streaming. And now I don't really use it much for anything. I kind of just keep it here. It's a good computer, though. 8350 processor, even though AMD is like absolute garbage as a processor, still not too bad, though. And, you know, I like it. But yeah, and then the third one I have just because, well, I have a third one. Why not? It's actually another streaming computer. Like, there's a microphone there and a mixing desk and everything. So I can feasibly have 2 people streaming in the same room at once and not have to worry about it.
Whatever happened to your sister streaming?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Admittedly, I was actually wondering in my head, I'm like, how long will it take before someone ever brings that back up? But no, I don't know. She kind of abandoned that, which is fine though. She picked up some other stuff, which is good. So she's got her own projects going on, and at least she's staying busy.
Hobby. Oh yeah.
So yeah. Oh, apparently when I was watching Drop Frames yesterday, they were talking about apparently this whole thing blew up. Okay. They removed some butt emotes on Twitch. I don't know how I missed this. Apparently it was a big thing. They went through like 52,000 emotes and removed like 300 of them, all involving butts or the act of defecation or something like that.
Oh, right, okay.
Dude, Twitch, how is a multi-billion-dollar company still so bad at PR? I don't understand it. Like,
the left hand does not know what the right is doing.
All they did was show up and remove all of them. They gave no prior warning to any of the broadcasters who this was going to affect or anything. And they just straight up removed them. And it's like, I didn't even know about this until I watched Drop Frames yesterday. And then I saw them cover it. I'm like, really? A multi-billion-dollar company, a company that employs almost 700 people, still does not know how to communicate with the people that really kind of fuel the website. It's just, it's mind-boggling to me. And they made the reference like it was an employer-employee kind of relationship. It's like, not really, no. I don't consider Twitch my boss. Sure, Twitch owns the, like, framework at which my channel broadcasts on, but at the end of the day, I own the show. Like, the Daily Chat is a my show. It's not a Twitch thing. So, I don't know what people were... I don't know why people weren't madder about it. Like, people apparently were mad, just not as mad as I figured they should be. If Twitch had come up and removed one of my emotes, dude, I would have lost my mind. And Ko made a very good point in saying that some people, even though they're partner streamers, you know, they still have another job and all that. And they have to pay artists to make their emotes, and now they have to pay again because they got an emote removed and they had no prior warning.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of the rumors that floated around was maybe Twitch is moving towards more of a TV-style professional format where they're going to start censoring a lot more stuff, which at that point then I think Twitch would have
then it would cease to become Twitch.
Twitch, yeah, exactly. That would have just moved away entirely.
Might as well just go over to Hitbox or something.
Yeah, it really. The i7 6850K I'm getting next week should be no problem then. Is that the 40 lane or the 28 lane CPU? Because I have a 5930K, I have a 40 lane CPU, and I can tell you, I'm not even close to touching the 40 lanes. Like, a 5820K is $200 cheaper than the one I have, and that is more than enough for basically any Twitch user. Like, the only reason why I know streamers like Soda, Lyric, have 5960Xs is because they got them for free. Because I'm pretty sure they would never buy a $1,000 processor for no reason. except for JP. I think JP has it because he actually has two GTX Titan or two Titan X's. No, he has two 1080s. So like, you know, at that point, then yeah, I could see you getting your value out of it at that point. But until then, how many of you are actually going to run around with $1,200 worth of graphics cards? 40 lane. Okay. Well, hey man,
You've got plenty of overhead. Not going to be an issue.
I'm fully aware of what the 6850K is. It's once again it's kind of the same conundrum. Like I said, I paid $600 for my processor, and when I finally realized the true difference between the two, I was like, I screwed up so badly. I'm like, I could have saved $200. I could have bought more RAM. I could have got another hard drive. I could have got something else for that $200. But you know what? If that's what makes you happy, man, you go for it. You do you, son. You do you. Oh, gosh. What a day. I got up at noon, and I just have not been functional the entire day. Oh! I was playing Overwatch last night. Okay?
What do you know?
I was playing competitive Overwatch. And I'm still doing my 10 trial matches. And I was on match number 3. And dude, I finally got a team where it might have only been 2 people. Well, myself makes 3. Of the 6 that were talking, but 3 of us were talking and communicating in the game. It was amazing. We knew where people were. We knew who was down. We knew who was up. We knew where we were getting sniped from. It was like, wow. I didn't know this type of gameplay could exist in 2016.
You should know that anyway.
What do you mean?
Well, it's called knowing where you're getting shot from.
No, you can't. There's 12 people in a map. They're not always targeting you. Sometimes they're targeting your teammates. If a Widowmaker takes down my teammate and he says,
keep track of where everyone is.
You can't.
Apart from a Farah.
You can't. It's not always that. It's not clean and cut like that. There's no way. You cannot keep track of that much detail going on at one time. And sometimes if a Junkrat is popping people off from a windowsill, and if I'm on the other side of the like signpost thing, there's no way I'm going to see that. So if my partner says, "Hey, Junkrat's in the windowsill around the corner," I know to jump up and shoot the windowsill immediately before he has time to react. Or if Widowmaker is sitting on top of the Japanese house and just picking people off, then I know to go around the right or left side and try and get her before she can see me coming. It's not always clean and cut. If everyone was as aware as that to always know where everyone is, competitive play would be a whole different ball game.
I had a game in competitive play, and to be honest with you, they were the easiest matches I've had.
Were they all like ranked 12?
It was very easy. I've had harder pub matches. I regularly have harder pub matches.
We had one round in that game where it was you have to all congregate to the core in the middle of the room, and it's in the what's it called, like, oh my god, it's in like the China map, but not where you defend the house. You have to go to like the middle of like the cybernetics room to kind of defend the point. And oh wow, it was 99 to 99 for a solid 15 minutes. We had a blast going back and forth. We ended up finally winning, only because 3 of us popped our ults at one time and just wiped out the other team. And as the little thing came to the very, very end, I see Mercy pop in and res everybody up. But thank God the system registered as the match over, or else I was gonna lose my mind. Like, I had just killed Tracer, and all of a sudden just Tracer pops up in front of me. And you even heard me, I'm like, what? And it's like, match over, I'm like, oh, thank God.
And hey, Big Dipper.
I'd get it if it was on Steam. Overwatch? Dude. Battle.net's fine, man. Battle.net works perfectly fine. Why do you need it on Steam? I have 2 970s, a Sound Blaster, and an Elgato. Ah, yeah, okay, yeah. So you'll get some use out of those extra lanes, that's for sure. So I just have the 1980 and an SSD, like a PCI Express SSD.
Hang on, I thought the HD60 had onboard encoding.
I want to say the HD60. I
That's
want to
the
say the
internal one,
HD60
isn't it?
Pro is an internal card.
Yeah. If it's the internal one, it's one I was looking at. Just picking up just for shits and giggles and not streaming, but I just thought it'd be a nice to have. But the reason I was looking at it was because it was one of them with the onboard encoding chip.
Did you see the 480 benchmarks? Actually, yeah, I did. Did you see the 480 benchmarks?
I didn't see the 480
Okay.
benchmarks.
They all came out yesterday. The
Oh.
embargo got lifted yesterday. It performs well, really well for $200, dude. It's like, damn, son. It did at 1080p. It was doing solid 60 FPS on a lot of major titles. Or if it wasn't doing 60, it was doing like high end 50s. Like it was a very, very playable frame rate for a $200 card.
Yeah, I am aware that the AMD is pitching mid-market this season.
They should. They can't compete at the high end. They've proven time and again they cannot compete at the high end. So if you can't compete at the top tier, go for the mid tier and just crush it.
Yeah. And again, for a $200 card, getting decent performance, then...
The 970 was the top value card prior to the 480 coming out, and now the 480 is just... dollar to performance ratio just blows the 970 away. Even the 1070 can't really compete at that level, because the 1070 is still $500 Canadian, whereas the 480 is $300 Canadian. So significantly cheaper.
Yeah.
And the 480's benchmarks were just outstanding. In fact, I will have to admit I will openly admit I have to eat my words saying it was going to suck, because it just destroyed everybody.
So what's its equivalent card? Is it close to a 970 or?
It's a 970 1070 card at a $200 price tag. It's like
That's pretty damn sweet.
it's in that
I'll give you
midpoint
really
between
quick.
those two cards, but it is right there where it is totally worth its value. Like they will sell a lot of these cards to a lot of budget systems because it's worth every penny for that type of performance.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And they even increased the cooling on it, so now the coolers aren't, ramping up to 2,000 RPM for no reason whatsoever. Like they actually have them at proper. And what is it? You know how like there's like MSI Afterburner and all that. Apparently now AMD has something called Wattman, where you can actually control the performance at each watt level. So you can get like microscopic control over it.
Great if it works.
Yeah, I think what was it? Linus Tech Tip said they'll see a lot more experiments with Wattman when the aftermarket cards come out. Which I can see, because that's where a lot of people kind of get the value for the overclocking is in the aftermarket cards. Because then you have cooling.
There'll be a metric fuck ton of factory overclocks as well.
Yeah, but see, the problem with the factory overclocks, with those back-end blowers, is the fact that they get really, really loud. Like, really loud.
Well, that all depends on the quality of the heatsink, really.
It's pretty much it's almost from what I've seen over the last, 4 generations that they've been using the back-style blower, it's been a pretty consistent problem. And it's just the nature of the reference card model versus where these aftermarket companies start making their own coolers where they have much even higher quality heat sinks than what you're getting with the reference model cards. i3 and RX 480, hell no, that's not the ultimate budget build. It's an ultimate budget build if you're using it as like a media server, not if you're using it for gaming. God no, don't buy an i3 for anything that's not that. Anything that's going to require any kind of interactive input for a game, do not use an i3. Like you will have so many bottlenecking issues it won't even be funny. i5 is pretty much the accepted standard now as the bare minimum for gaming. Which i5s in America are really cheap. $200, $250? Like they don't cost a lot.
Of America.
Pardon?
Speaking of America,
Okay.
do you happen to know? Do you remember when Windows sort of overnight decided it was going to install on everyone's computer? Windows 10?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the cluster that surrounded that? Mm-hmm. Well, A woman has won a lawsuit over unwanted Windows 10 installation.
Yeah, for 10 grand. Good for
Yeah.
her.
Yep,
Uh,
definitely. Terry Goldstein was awarded 10 grand after Windows 10 balked her PC.
good. I am so glad. I hope this opens the floodgates for more lawsuits.
Well, I think it would, because there's been another kind of announcement recently that upgrades, Windows 10 upgrades, are now being stopped. Yeah, they're stopping trying to fake you installing. You have to actually go and select it rather than it go. Yeah.
Well, no, good, because that was... My dad and I talked about this last night, actually, and before I go on with this, Voltez, man, how you doing? How are you doing, old bud? I returned from the dead after my PC took a heart attack. Got a better one now, though. Good for you, man. That's awesome. Happy to hear it. My dad and I were talking about this yesterday, and my dad's like, why are people complaining they're giving it away for free? I'm like, I don't care if they're giving me... I don't care if they're going to hand me a sack of gold for free with with the Windows 10. At no point in time am I ever going to be comfortable with the company having so much access to my computer that they can just install things without me knowing.
Yeah.
I don't care what their reasoning is. It's not acceptable in any way, shape, or form. Like, keep that...
I mean, it's like somebody coming around to your house and sort of like taking your car, but giving you a more up-to-date one.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, yeah, it's a new car, but I mean, that's my car.
Exactly. I don't care. Like, yeah, it's just like that. It's like we dropped a brand new engine. It's even faster now. I'm like, I don't care. That was my car. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
Same reason why I don't care how experienced people are. I am not comfortable with them touching my things ever.
I even had a rather uncomfortable, well, I say conversation with myself, but it was just sort of like a mental meanderings about, okay, I don't like the way Windows is going. I don't like it. I don't like the store. I don't like the proprietary gaming platform. I don't want to go to Windows 10. But I can't stay on Windows 7 forever because they're going to end its life shortly.
Molvios, thank you for the YouTube subscription, man. I appreciate you. Boom. Nail it. Sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off there.
So what alternatives do I have?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'll never touch Mac. Ever. Any of the Mac OSs. So that means I'll have to learn how to drive Linux.
And that's what my dad was saying. He's like, oh, well, Apple gives their stuff away for free. I'm like, that's because they've cultivated that relationship from the get-go where that's what people expect now.
And you can't do anything with an Apple that Apple doesn't want you to.
That's very true. I know K-Mac. K-Mac is a huge Apple fanboy. He's openly admitted to it. Oh yeah, he's been on that Apple Johnson for quite a while. But
I used to like you, K-Mac.
I love him to death, man. He's one of my good friends, but he knows that he's wrong. He knows it's one of those bad and you should feel bad kind of moments. CPU fried on that old sack of shit. Harnesses the parts, mostly RAM. I'm using... Oh, okay, cool, man. Dude, 2 monitors. I sincerely don't know how people don't have 2 monitors nowadays. Oh, it's funny. We love you, buddy.
Yeah.
I do everything I want to do. Yeah, except play games and have fun.
Yeah, and use it for what you want to use it for. Yeah,
Oh god. You know, I was never really salty about Mac until it was in one of the early iterations of the iPhone where they ended up deleting something off the store and then deleting it from everyone's iPhone. Cuz like you can't have this. I'm like super not okay?
Yeah. And they have not failed to annoy the shit out of me just on numerous occasions. Things like I'd lost my music library. Problem is I was forced to sync my device and re-register it because I then also installed a new operating system,
Right.
which Apple didn't recognize, despite the device being linked to my account. So it forced synced and wiped my entire music library, which was still saved on my iPod.
Yeah. They did that to my iPad too.
And not only that, there's another one as well. That was the music one.
Games on Mac, nice joke. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know me, man. Love to rechat.
So yeah, there's many occasions where iTunes and all that shit has made me just really want to kill a bitch.
You know, but I do hear from Mac users that iTunes on Mac is really, really good. I never realized how cancerous CSGO was. Oh, man.
How could you not realize?
How
that?
could
It's
you
like-
not? They don't delete the phone, but you can't reinstall unless you get a backup. You still don't see a major problem with that? I see a huge problem.
I had to jailbreak my iPod Touch just to put the music on that I fucking wanted.
iTunes on Windows shit. Oh yeah, on Windows it's total garbage. 100% total garbage.
And they won't fix it. They make it run like shit on purpose,
Yeah.
I feel.
Before I got it, until I got it recently. Yeah, dude. Oh, CS:GO, man. CS:GO, Dota 2, League of Legends. Just oh god, they're all like cancer made physical. Google pulls apps too. Oh yeah, I'm sure they do, but then again though, come on. Really? The Google store? Whatever.
It's not as though you can't find 8 others.
Yeah, it's not like you can't find it
Eight other
somewhere else
clones
on
of
the
it.
internet. Like, what was
And on
it?
top of that, if you go to the Google Store, guess what you can do? You can download the APK online. So if it does get removed from the Google Store, you can just search for it online. Can't do that with Apple products, unfortunately.
Like, what was
Can't
it?
do external installs.
They removed the Dilbert app from the Google Store a long time ago. And I don't know why they pulled it, but I know they pulled it. I found it on another site. Just downloaded it. Just called it good. Mia Kitty, how you doing, baby doll? What's new? League
Mia.
is just eck. I always say like when I started streaming, and you remember that time I was a Heroes of the Storm streamer. Like primarily in the morning I do Heroes. And I was like, I'm getting pretty good at this. Let's go do Dota 2. And I played one round of Dota 2, uninstalled the game. I'm like, I am never touching this game ever again. Just, I don't care how much money's on the table, just never touching that game ever again. That was a nightmare of an experience.
Well, I will maintain that Postal 2 has the best shotgun reload animation in the world ever.
Is it better than Far Cry Blood Dragon? Where he flips the bullets into the gun?
It's just as cool, if not cooler.
Because, like, I'm sorry, man, but if I see a guy, like, popping his shells into the gun, like, through the air, that's pretty baller. So,
It's pretty baller.
I think I own Postal 2. I have to check it out. Dude, how many games have you bought on the Steam Summer Sale?
Not a whole lot, really.
I have admittedly spent way more than I'm comfortable talking about.
I have a lot of games. There isn't really a lot on there that interests me right now.
Yeah, all the games I actually bought were early access games. The games that I wanted to own, regardless if they were in early access or not, because I knew even at their current level, I would have fun with them. So I was okay paying for it. Like, I got a YouTuber's life. I got a blogger's life. Yes, they are the same game. Shut up. And I got Subnautica. In Subnautica, I've just been getting praise around the table over how much progress it's made while in early access. So that made me okay buying it. One piece of software I'm going to get though is PC Mark, because it's on sale for 80% off. So I'm like, that's good for benchmarking and stuff. I was gifted Fable, but I've not bought anything yet. Oh, very cool. Got Fallout 4 for 20 euros. Oh, damn. That's pretty nice. Not many, a few ones, though. Most of my purchases were gifts. Yeah. Yeah, if I had the money, there's a few friends who I know, like, they want, like, really cheap games. So I'm like, if I had the money, I'd gift it to them. But I will openly admit, I had a lot of fun with a YouTuber's life. Like, a lot of fun with it. But the game is just really not in a releasable state right now, and I can see why it's in early access. But I think if they go through the reviews and look at the criticisms people had, and they make the appropriate changes, it can be a very, very good game. Almost as good as Game Dev Tycoon. Do you ever play Game Dev Tycoon?
Yes. They'd have to put an awful lot in it, I feel.
Really? You didn't like Game Dev Tycoon for what it was?
No, I mean, for it to be like Game Dev Tycoon, there's an awful lot in there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here's the animation. Let's see it. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. That's pretty neat.
Shells just throws them at the gun. That's your real good animation.
I bought 2 copies, one for me and one for my friend, as well as buying another copy of Castle Crashers for some streamer I watch. Oh, very cool. I love Castle Crashers. I own that game forever. Such a good game. Such a fun game. And definitely one I advise a lot of people to go play. If you want just a fun kind of party beat 'em up kind of style game, it's Castle Crashers is perfect for that. That and Magica. Magica is really fun. In fact, you can get that one on G2A. Maybe
Controversial.
Maybe you can tell me, what the hell is up with G2A and why is everyone hating on it so far or lately? Like, it's been getting more hate than normally it gets.
Well, the last fuck up that they did, pardon my French, was with Tiny Build.
I don't know what that is.
Tiny Build, well, they're a really good bunch of devs, really. They're absolute corkers. But they have been put in dire straits because a lot of stolen basic keys have been purchased. They've appeared on G2A under stolen cards, and they've been purchased by stolen cards or whatever. And what's happened is these chargebacks that Tiny Build have been getting are obviously causing them issues.
Oh.
And it's all come from dubious keys on G2A.
Gotcha. Okay.
So G2A is being vilified for allowing this to happen. And rightly so as well.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
No, right.
It's out and out theft. You know, it's stolen goods, no matter how you look at it.
Right. No, I agree. If that's the reason, then yeah, they deserve all the hate they're getting. It's just, for me, though, it's like I always know G2A gets a lot of hate. I know I've come across a bunch of streamers who are like, oh, you use G2A, you know they don't support the developer, right? It's like, bitch, I don't make any money right now, so I'm buying my games at the cheapest price I get them.
The key from. You know?
I don't care.
It all depends on how the key's sourced. If it's really like responsibly sourced from the developer, then yeah, it's perfectly fucking fine.
Once again, that's looking through an idealistic perspective. As a consumer, and I'm talking about myself, I don't care.
Well, you get the cheapest
I only have so much money, and I'm gonna get the game one way or the other.
Am I going to pay $60 for a game, or am I going to pay $30 for a game? I'll take the 30, please.
Yeah, exactly. I bought Witcher 3 for $30 on the day it got released. I bought it for $30. I wasn't going to complain. I saved $30. I could spend that on another game. Mm-hmm. Look, I'm not saying it's the most honorable way to buy things, not at all. But you do what you have to, because guess what? Not everyone has $60 to keep throwing at games that come out every month. Like, that's not the way the economy is right now. No one is really truly rolling in cash. So, sorry, if they want stuff like G2A to die, developers as a whole just have to start lowering the price of their games. Because look, if clearly G2A is selling a brand new $6 game for $30, then clearly the market is saying that game is only worth $30. Who cares? Those kids in Chinese sweatshops got. Sorry, man, but that's consumerism, and that's how markets are. I know it's not what people want to hear, but that's the truth of it. Look, Nike moved all their stuff to China because, well, when you pay $120 for a pair of Iversons, they're making $118 profit.
Well, it is the same in corporate business. You know, if you can get a person and you have the choice to pay a person in America, what's the minimum wage in America?
I think it's like $12 now.
$12 an hour? Or you can go to India and pay someone $1 an hour.
Yeah. Once again, it's not...
It's not exactly a difficult corporate choice.
No, and it's not what people want to hear, but it is the truth. And if I had to run a corporation that involved me having to hire people and labor and all that, I'm going overseas, 100%. I would love to come in and support American jobs and all that, but that means I have to increase the price of my product an extra 100%, 120%, just to help me, make up that difference in lost revenue. Because you got to remember, in America, you have to pay, it's $7.25. That doesn't sound right. I know a bill just went through upping the minimum wage.
Well, still, Big Dipper, even at $7.25, it still stands. What would you rather pay someone? $7.25 an hour or $1 an hour?
Oh, hey, what do you know? Oh, as of July 2015, so that was last year. I could have sworn they increased it in that 1 year time. Oh, here we go. Yeah, right here. Highlights of 2016. On April 4th, the California Governor Brown signed Senate Bill 3 into law. The new law increases the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Okay, yeah. So there it is.
When does that may have been passed into law, but there will be a time before.
Increased to $15 an hour by January 1st, 2022 for employees.
22, yeah.
For employees, the minimum wage will reach $15 an hour by 2023. Yeah. So it's still going to take a little few years, but I do know that it was changing.
It just has to be law by that time. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's see here. July 15th. DC's new wage is $10.50 an hour. Makes the jurisdiction threshold. Okay, yeah. So you're right. It's by state. Okay, got it. It's still $6+. Yeah, no, I get it. Raise the minimum wage. Yeah, I know. America's got a whole set of problems. You know what I want to do? If I ever can raise the capital for it, I want to start my own ISP. Even if it's just a locally Calgary-based ISP. Because, dude, in Calgary alone, you could easily make the money. Because the two other companies that run out here are a duopoly system. So it's like you could easily make your money by just offering a not crap service.
Yeah, that's half the problem, though.
Well, the stuff out here is so bad. Like, look how much I always bitch about my internet speed. And I know it sounds like I'm always bitching about the speed, but that's because it's a legitimate thing to bitch about for how much I pay every month. Like, I pay $70 a month. I get 50 by 10. Whereas Google Fiber people pay $70 a month and get 1,000 by 1,000.
Wow. Well, I'm actually saying, wow, Volts went to Europe.
Yeah, that's really cool. In fact, I was telling my dad, I'm like, I don't think
left Europe.
I don't think now, at my point in life, I don't think I ever want to travel again, honestly. Traveling is now such a arduous and annoying thing to have to go through. I have no desire to have to put myself through that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I mean, flying annoys the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean, I'm just a stocky lad. I've been a prop forward in rugby and things like that, and the chair backs. It only covers my back. It doesn't touch my shoulders. My shoulders overhang, like fucking 4 inches either side. I asked for a window seat just so I can twist round and put my fucking back against the wall so that the person next to me doesn't have half of my fucking shoulder on them.
Right. In TI Films, you thought 200 down and 10 up was a lot. At what point do you think getting 5% up from your down is a reasonable justification towards whatever you're paying? If I ever got 5% return on anything, I'd be super pissed. Like,
Gaming VS 05 is a Google Fiber master race.
oh, it is. It is what is scaring the crap out of Comcast and Verizon and everyone right now. AT&T is scrambling to try and compete with Google Fiber in Kansas because they just can't. Like, they're having to give away, you know, severely discounted rates, increase people's speeds for free, take away data caps, because, once again, a 1 gig symmetrical internet with no data cap for $70 a month.
Yeah, well, I mean, why would you? I mean, why? I don't understand data caps anyway. Data caps are just there as a money-making tool.
Once again, it's all corporate.
So
it's when you have a
artificial.
monopoly system, you can do shady things like that.
Yeah.
Because don't make any mistake about it, in America, it is definitely a monopoly system because on all the major people, Verizon, or okay, at the time, I'm not sure what mergers have gone through since this, but I know Verizon, Comcast, Time Warner, AT&T, and whoever else have all gotten together and sliced up America into like little sectors. So now everybody can have their own like little slice of monopoly territory, and you know, then they can just do whatever they want. It's how the process is. And you have Google Fiber coming in, who's not part of this little all boys club, and just shaking the shit out of the baby. And it's got them all terrified now. Like, what is it? They just went to Oregon, and in Oregon, Google Fiber, I think, is in what the hell's in Oregon? What's the Portland? They're in Portland, and another small town in Oregon has now municipality ran gigabit internet for I think like $70 a month as well, with no data cap. So now you actually have municipalities running internet too. So I think America, for that one perspective, they're in a good state with the change coming, but they're still in a pretty bad state overall with minimum wages and cost of living and all that. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So yeah. But that's pretty much it. The UK is behind on everything. Dude, you're more ahead than Canada. I'm telling you right now. You don't have the first damn idea how behind Canada. When you guys make those jokes about do we still ride dog sleds, I'm not surprised you make those jokes. It's actually kind of true.
We have actually broached this subject before, Till. Because I had to explain, basically the monopolization of BT and how it set the UK behind in general. And that is essentially because of BT. It's why the UK now has anti-monopolization laws.
Yeah, we don't have that. We don't have that at all in Canada. My country is made of potato people. I would like anti-monopolization laws, and I guess in a way we kind of have them because I'm with Tech Savvy, who lease the lines from TELUS and Shaw, but it's more like a local loop unbundling kind of system rather than a non-monopolization system.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Tech Savvy doesn't own their own lines; they just get to lease the lines. Canada's in the Stone Age. Oh, so in the Stone Age, man. I hate being back in Canada. Hate it. And I will openly admit the women are not nearly as good looking as they are in the US. Not even close.
Well, they wear more clothes because it's colder.
Ah! I see what you did there. Oh, man.
Well, Rex, I'm going to have to love you and leave you, pal.
Okay.
Because it is 20 to 1 in the morning for
Yeah,
me,
no problem, man.
and I have to be up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at silly o'clock in the morning. So.
Cool. Well, thanks, man. I like I said, I know it's super late for you, so thank you for helping me out for the time. I appreciate it.
And take care, everybody in chat. It's been a pleasure seeing some old names again. Catch you all later.
See you, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
User disconnected from your channel.
Okay.
Disconnected.
Here, tell you what, guys. I'm gonna just take a quick pee break. I'll be right back, and we'll just kind of hang out for a little bit longer, okay? So give me a moment. Okay, so I come back, and all I see on my screen is fat people. So what are we talking about? And fat people don't get cold. There's another reason. Aw, that's hurtful. That's hurtful. I'm not fat. I'm festively plump. So yeah. So that was, I guess that's like the main show done for today. I guess now we'll just kind of hang out. You guys just kind of, let's just talk. What do you guys want to talk about? Any news stories you guys want to have talked? Let's see here. What the hell's that? Okay. I don't know. There's something on my microphone, but I don't know what it is. I'm hoping tonight that I can have I'll try and get this archive up tonight. I'm trying to make sure I get an episode up every day for you guys. And I know some might be like a day late or so, but mainly because I'm trying to game the YouTube algorithm as much as I can. So the more videos, as long as I get more videos put up, 7 days a week or, every consecutive day, it just puts me up higher on the rankings. So that's why. If you guys ever wonder why, why is this episode going up at 9 p.m. at night? It's because it rolled over the 24-hour period and then I released the new video. That's why. It's all about gaming the system. Is it a shitty thing to do? Possibly. Do I care? Not at all. It's what you got to do to make it. And I got videos coming up for every Monday now. I think I have enough done for the end of July. For every Monday in July, I have a video going out. So at least we have that. And what else is there? Yeah, I'm hoping to hear back from some companies who... There's a piece of software I got. I installed a 480 gig SSD in my computer yesterday. And I'm migrating over the OS and everything. But unfortunately, the free version doesn't migrate the OS. It just migrates all of the other data files. So it's like crap. So hopefully I'm working with them, see if they'll help me out there. And because it was strange. I actually went to go make a video on how to use the software yesterday. And it actually doesn't come up on OBS. You can actually say capture the desktop monitor. And you can even move the window. But all it will show on OBS is your cursor moving. It won't actually show the window of the program. It's one of the strangest things I've possibly have ever seen with the software. And I tried it with OBS and OBS Studio. And both times it would not show up. I don't think I've ever seen that in my life. And I'm still wondering why it did that. But yeah, maybe you guys have an idea. If you guys have an idea, let me know. I'm always kind of curious to learn these kind of things. But other than that, man, I'm kind of out of things to talk about for today. Plus, my voice is kind of getting tired, and I'm getting really hungry. I want chicken. And I have three types of chicken upstairs, but I still want, chicken wings. Because today's Boneless Wing Thursday at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I really, really want to go get some. Should I go get them? Should I go spend $30 on wings? Because, look, it's an hour drive. So if I'm driving for, a lot of money to go spend on food. But I think tonight we might do some XCOM. Maybe do XCOM 1, XCOM 2 in this week and get it just done. But let me know what you guys think. Other than that, guys, I'm going to probably just head out here. Sorry, I know this wasn't the world's greatest show. And for those of you who did stick around, thank you for being so patient with us today. I know some days, you know what, you have your on days, you have your off days. I'd say today was a half on, half off kind of thing. So for those of you who stuck through it, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit the follow button on the channel, hit the follow button on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, all those kind of good things. And for those of you on YouTube who are watching this as an archive, remember you guys can always tune in live every time we go. Just come follow on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/LoreX2015. Other than that, guys, I've been Rex. Devious Furball, obviously, you guys saw him today. So thank you to him. And other than that, I will see you next time for episode 130 of The Daily Chat. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.